Hello everyone, welcome to Display TV. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis, live from fabulous New York City. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday, happy St. Patty's Day. How's everybody feeling tonight? We're almost to the end of the week. This is a holiday for some, and let me just ask, do you celebrate St. Patty's Day? Is this something that you do? Is this a holiday that you get behind? What's that? I wear green to avoid pinches. Kiss me, I'm Irish. Which of these most applies to you? Do you celebrate St. Patty's Day? What's that? I wear green to avoid pinches. Kiss me, I'm Irish. We had a little bit of a discussion about this yesterday. And as it turns out, a lot of people didn't even know what it was, which is always fun to learn about new holidays and what people celebrate. And right now, it's looking like 45% of you either sarcastically or seriously are saying, what's that? I honestly do not even know what it is. Well, here I can tell you in the States, it's turned into a whole lot of drinking, a whole lot of wearing green, and that's pretty much it. But if anybody actually does celebrate St. Patty's Day for real, I'd be curious to hear what your traditions are. It looks like we have 28% of you saying, kiss me, I'm Irish, so maybe you can tell us. What does one do to celebrate St. Patty's Day, aside from the things that I mentioned? It seems like a bunch of you also said that you were wearing green, and oh my gosh, I did not get the memo. I am not dressed for the occasion. But my hair is slightly red, and I do have some Irish in my blood. So I will say that, ow! I'm Irish. You can't pinch me. All right, I'll put on my festive attire. Can you see it? There we go, we got a little something. I can't wear green on the green screen tonight though for trivia because I would just disappear and y'all need to see a host. Hi everybody, hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. We're celebrating St. Patty's Day in style. I didn't have enough green on, I got pinched, and now we have fixed that problem. But who's been celebrating? Everyone's pretty quiet. I see Kathy Davis is here and I'm pretty sure her house is smelling quite delicious right now, right? Kathy, didn't you say that you were whipping up some corned beef and cabbage? Yes, maybe? Yes, happy St. Patty's Day. Who else? Is anybody celebrating? Anybody go to a pub? What else are we doing for St. Patty's Day? I'm here, right? This is my celebration. Oh, I can tell you how else they'll be celebrating. Oh, I almost launched into an Irish accent. I'll tell you how else they'll be celebrating. We are going to be doing a St. Patty's Day themed trivia game later. And I am going to give away $500. And that's kind of along the lines of St. Patty's Day, right? I would say so because you sort of chase gold at the end of the rainbow. And in our case, the rainbow is trivia, right? That kind of makes sense. Follow that logic. So yeah, I'm your leprechaun. I will be giving away some gold if you play trivia with me, $500 to be exact, and it's gonna be St. Patty's Day themed. So that's how I'm celebrating. Plus I got these cute little ears now. They're not ears. What are these? Antennas? Antennas, there we go. Oh, I love that. China Thug celebrated by opening a fresh bottle of Irish Spring body wash. That sounds like a great way to celebrate. Okay, Capper7 says it's all about the music here while we eat. Kathy says, yes, my meal was delicious. Haggis, Cerebral Assassin had haggis. Okay, all right, now we're getting into the spirit. I love it. That's awesome. Maybe some people did a little Irish dance or a jig of some kind. I don't know. If there's any other customs that I'm missing, please put them in the chat, shout them out. And happy St. Patty's Day. Seriously, to all of those who are celebrating, we wish you a very happy St. Patty's Day. Well, we're also celebrating, aside from trivia tonight, we're celebrating a couple things. One, they announced the new Met Gala theme today. And I, for one, do love getting behind a good costume, right? I didn't necessarily have a costume prepared today, but again, in my defense, I can't hop onto a green screen wearing green because I would just disappear. But I do love costumes. I have 2 boxes that I keep under my bed dedicated to costumes, so I do love the Met Gala solely for the outfits. And they said that it's a gilded glamour. That is going to be the theme. And the cool thing about the Gilded Age is it was actually a time of, you know, economics we were doing really well as a society. There's a lot of money being thrown around. So maybe it's giving us the good vibes, yeah? Oh, Hugsy is spending the evening at the casino, hoping it is a lucky day. I hope it's a lucky day for all of you, right? That would be definitely along the traditions of St. Patty's Day. So yeah, Met Gala announced their theme today. And by there, I mean Anna Wintour announced that. We've got St. Patty's Day going on. And of course, we have a guest tonight for our show, which is really exciting to me because it means I don't have to carry the conversation with all of you for a whole 30 minutes. You actually get to hear somebody else talk about how much they love display. It's Kathy Hull, and it means it's time to bring her on. We'll be right back with Kathy.
My work is for the world, but it really starts with me, and I'm just a vessel that helps it funnel.
Don't be so quick to give off what God has given you to somebody else.
It was a really hard year, but there are a lot of really bright moments.
What's up, y'all? I'm Lauren Elise, and you can catch my show, Harmony and Hues, every Thursday on Display TV.
Welcome to Display Tips. Let's get introduced to Profile. Tap the profile on bottom right of screen. Here, you can personalize your display experience. Tap the pencil icon to edit your profile picture, cover photo, basic user info including contact, and link to your other social media accounts. Select your preferred language. Identify top friends and family members. You can also create and manage your communities here. Watch for more tips on Display TV.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Display TV. Speaking of Display TV, if you just saw that commercial, you know that a brand new Harmony and Hues is coming up after trivia tonight. We've got Lauren Elise and she is performing. So you're definitely gonna wanna catch that. If you need some music to round out the rest of your St. Patty's Day, just hang in the stream after trivia is over. And speaking of St. Patty's Day, it's gonna be a themed game tonight. We're celebrating all things Irish, so I hope you stay around and shoot your shot at 500 bucks. In the meantime, I am very pleased to welcome on a special guest tonight. She's one of our Display Advisory Board members, but she's just a creative like all of you. Her name is Kathy Hull. Welcome, Kathy. Hi.
Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing really well.
Kathy, where are you tuning in from?
Illinois, the middle of Illinois.
The middle of Illinois. And what did you do for St. Patty's Day? Did you celebrate?
Well, I did not, but I work in a school, so I did wear my tie-dye shirt that has green in it because it was Green Day at school today. So
How sweet. What do you teach at school?
I don't teach. I'm actually the registrar. So I register all the new kids and do grades and records and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. And how long have you been on display?
Since like the first 2 weeks.
Tell me about like why you've stuck around for so long.
Because I love the concept of display and I love the idea that creators can get paid for their content. And I like being able to have a place where I can be creative in a different way than I am on other social media.
Can you tell me a little bit about like that difference for you? What is it that you feel that you get from display that you don't get from your other social platforms, aside from the money, of course?
Well, the money, whatever the money. So the thing that I think I get the most from display that I've never gotten from any other social media is I've made some amazing connections that will probably follow me. A lot of them I am connected with on other social media and I can talk to them or I can message them and we can talk and we can share and they inspire me to do certain things that I might not have thought of doing. So I really like that aspect of it.
Do you feel like you filter yourself differently? Just out of, you don't have to answer yes to this. I'm genuinely curious. Do you feel like you're less filtered on display or you feel open to posting a different kind of content than you might post on other social platforms?
Okay, so here's the deal. I have a lot of social platforms. I actually run the social platform for my work too. So I like dabble in all kinds of social media. I have a dedicated Instagram for my website that is crafting, which you never would see me do on display. And then I have a page for my dogs on Facebook. So they're two completely different things. And I can kind of do what I want on display and bring in a different side of me that I don't necessarily show on other social media.
We're gonna show off some of your content in a little bit. And yes, you have great photos of your dog and of nature. And Yeah, I mean, all of your hobby, you're sort of a hobbyist too, so I definitely see, I feel like we see the full Kathy on display, which is really cool. Do you have any community? I mean, it sounds like you're almost part of like, more of like a dog-centric community on Facebook, this crafting-centric like community on Instagram. What communities are you a part of on display?
So, I mean, definitely the creative community on display. And I think, I mean, the advisory board is a huge part of it. So I've made some great connections through the people in the advisory board with me. Basically, it's the creative side that accepts all kinds of creative, no matter what you're creative about, whether you're someone like Marcio who's making these blender things, or if you are posting pictures of your turtle like Camo Mermaid does. I mean, it's all different kinds of creatives coming together to just be able to be together.
Can you, for anyone that doesn't know, can you talk a little bit about what the Display Advisory Board is and does?
Okay, so the Display Advisory Board is a group of, I think we're like at 26 people, and we do lots of things. One of the things we do is vote on exception people for the gold badge process. So if you apply for gold badge, we vote on that. We also run the All About Display community with customer care, where we post tips and tricks. Actually, I think everyone who's new to display gets automatically put in that community so they can see what our tips are and tricks are. Or people can post questions in that community for if they don't understand how to do something, and then we'll answer the questions. So that's kind of what our main focus is right now. And then we also will meet with management for different ideas, or they'll tell us things that are going on and stuff like that. So we work with Kathy Fell.
So you're essentially the go-between you know, the people who actually work at display and then your regular, let's say, everyday creators. So you're sort of helping to bridge that gap and make sure the creators are feeling heard, and then sort of the mission of display and everything sort of working as it's supposed to, expressing concerns, that sort of thing.
Right, because everyone in the advisory board, we are all just regular users.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who we are, who are passionate about display.
Since you are a part of this group and you know you're really heading up giving tips for new users and helping people, what for any of our new users that are tuning in right now, do you have any suggestions? Like, what are some things that you would sort of tell them to do if you were just starting on display all over again right now? You just created a profile. What would you do?
I'd say, first of all, fill out your profile. Put your picture up, fill out all the information that you can, so people who might want to follow you can know who you are and what you're about. And then I would say search for communities of people that have similar interests than you, because it's hard to connect with new people, I think, when you just are coming into the app if you don't know anyone, and you can find new people like you in communities. And so that gives you kind of a base. And then I'd also say make sure you're posting your own content. So you're not posting, say, something you pulled off of Google, or a picture that you took, or maybe a drawing that you made that you took a picture of, or a video of just you walking down the street, whatever you feel like doing. So I guess that's what I'd say.
I love that. I mean, and I think, you know, we're going to go through your content in a little bit so people can get inspired by what you're posting. But yeah, it's about your story, and it doesn't really matter what that is. Whatever you have access to is going to be interesting to someone else. And it sounds like, you know, being engaged, right? Not just like waiting for people to come to you to find you, to sort of go out of your way. Like use the explore page, that discover page, and, you know, engage with the content that you really enjoy, and then go, like you said, onto communities, search for the people that are making the types of content that you want to see in your feed. Make sure you're saying, hey, you know, like dropping a comment, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, dropping a comment that's not an emoji, and you don't have to drop 5,000 emojis on one person's post. You can just say, hey, I really like this picture of your beer. I like Schlitz, or whatever, that you can make that connection with someone. Where if you're just putting a heart, and I put hearts sometimes too, don't get me wrong, but it's usually on people that I already know, and they will understand why I'm putting a heart or a smiley face or a winky face. So engage and be real.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I do, sometimes we get people in the chat that are like, I think they get really impatient, or they don't necessarily believe that there's any money to be earned on display. And I'm always very transparent about the fact that you do have to be patient. You have to put in the work and make sure that you're showing up consistently. You're giving it some time. You're building those connections. But can you offer a little transparency around, like, have you actually earned any money on display?
Yes, I have. I have had 2 payouts. I've had one that was like $35, and then I took $150 out, and I could pay out 2 more times if I wanted to. I like to leave it in there for a while until.
Great.
Oh yes,
so
I
there
have
you go.
made money on display.
We've got some questions coming in. Great. And I wanted to invite all of you, if you are watching and you have, again, Kathy is, yes, she's a very active user. Yes, she is on Dab, but she is, at her core, she is just a creator like the rest of you. So if you have any questions for Kathy, please throw them in the chat. I love this. Kathy, I don't know, do you know any new features that are coming to display? I guess you and I can kind of answer this simultaneously. We just had some updates, right? So I think let's talk through some of the newer features that are available. I have noticed something that I just actually noticed the other day. You can actually share a post in display. You can copy that post and send it externally now. You can text that to a friend or someone who's not.
Yeah, you can get a link for an actual post.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
So let's say you wanted to share a post that you posted on display to your Instagram. You could actually copy that link and you could put it on your Instagram, and that could be a clickable link that somebody could click into to then see your post on display. So that's a new feature. There's just more share options, I believe now. You can also see sort of who your top 10 supporters are. Is there anything else that you've noticed that was exciting to you?
It's easier to share to the people that you communicate with normally. So if you hit the share, it actually brings up, 5 or 6 people that you can see that you've had the most recent conversations with. So you can just, if you have a post and you want to share it to that person, you can just click their picture really easily. So you don't even have to search to find someone if it's someone you communicate with a lot.
Well, we've done a lot of talking, which I appreciate, but I definitely want to do some more showing and not just telling. So let's take a look at some of Kathy's content from display, and you guys can all get inspired. Kathy, do you want to sort of offer us a little bit of a story behind every post that I pull up?
Oh, sure. So a lot of them all happened on the same weekend, probably. I'm going to guess if they're recent. But that is my lovely dog, Stormy. So I do have 3 dogs, and I'm very passionate about them. But Stormy is my hiking partner. She's my heart dog. I love her. And that is us. We drove about an hour away to go see the thawing of the waterfall at a place called Starved Rock, which is
so cute.
Yeah.
I love pictures of any animal on my feed. It gets a heart for me. Boop Your Nose is asking what's her display name. We do have it linked so you can see in the video stream, but it's at Krysanthe, KRYSANTHE. There you go. You can see it right now in case you want to go ahead and follow Kathy or check out her content or just say hello. Let's keep moving through the content. What else do we got?
That is actually on another hike, and winter was terrible. I don't know how it was in New York, but here it was just toxic. I mean, we got several feet of snow, which we never really get. So this would happen to be a 70-degree day that I got to take a random hike at the end of February. So even though I didn't post it till yesterday, but so I was happy to be able to get out. And it's nice now. It's like 70 here today.
I know. We're supposed to get a really nice day here tomorrow too. Yeah. I can't wait. Okay, let's keep it moving and see what else we got from Kathy. Love it. A selfie for International Women's Day. Again, like Kathy, I just think you do such a good job. It's like there's nothing complicated here, but you're great at taking out your phone, capturing a moment, telling a story, using your caption, right? Like I think that's another key. People don't tell enough of a story in the caption. I don't mean that you need to write a novel every time, but I think it's really nice to be able to say like, hey, this is why I'm posting this. This is the moment behind that photo.
I mean, for me personally, I won't be friends with anyone or follow them if they don't leave captions, because I don't want to be left hanging. Like, what is this picture? I need to know. I want the answers. And although they say a picture tells 1,000 words, not if you're like halfway across the world and I've never seen that location before. I need information. So I am really picky about captions. I think everyone should be using them.
Okay, next from Kathy, we've got this photo. Again, I mean, you just have nature at your fingertips. It's gorgeous.
So this is about 20 minutes from my house at a lake I probably go to at least once a week. I just take the drive, and we went up there, and you could kind of see the lake is half thawed and half frozen because it does get completely frozen in the winter. So we're thawing out.
We're thawing out here too. Kathy, everyone, I'm only giving you a tease. There's so much more content on Kathy's page. And again, I'm gonna put you on the spot now because we're getting close to trivia time. So I'm gonna invite you to stay on while we give away the answer to question 8 in tonight's game. We're doing a St. Patty's themed game tonight in honor of St. Patty's Day. And this is the way it works. So essentially, I'm going to ask the question. You'll see it up on your screen. You'll attempt to choose the answer. Kathy, don't worry. You don't have to answer out loud if you don't want to, because I'm terrible at trivia too.
I would be too.
But yeah, so you'll all at home too, you'll tap in your answer, and then I will reveal the answer, and that way you're one step closer to getting those 10 questions correct in tonight's game. So this is for no points, no money. You don't lose anything if you don't get it right. Let's pull up question 8 for tonight's game and see how everyone does. Okay. The popular Irish ballad adapted from Old Irish Air has which of the following lines? They'll steal your heart away, the pipes are calling, or that's an Irish lullaby. Which one is it? So we're talking about the Irish ballad that was called Old Irish Air, right? Which line is from that? They'll steal your heart away, the pipes are calling, or that's an Irish lullaby. Do you want to take a guess, Kathy? Just take a guess. Just do it.
That's an Irish lullaby?
There we go. Kathy has a guess. Let's see what everyone else said. You got some people with you. We're split tonight. We've got 39% saying they'll steal your heart away, 48% are saying the pipes are calling, and 12% are saying that's an Irish lullaby. So like a little bit on, and nobody's quite sure, right? We don't have anyone
Nobody knows.
overwhelmingly taking this question away. But I will say that this is from Danny Boy. So Old Irish Air turned into Oh Danny Boy. So if you remember that, the pipes are calling from Glen to Glen. Okay, so that's the pipes are calling. I will not sing you Oh Danny Boy, but the pipes are calling is the correct answer for tonight's question 8. So anybody who's tuned in early, now you're one step closer. Kathy, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
This was great. And everybody, again, you can follow Kathy on display at Chris Sanso. Go check her out. Go say hello. Kathy, I hope you'll tune into trivia now that you have your answer.
I have to cook dinner.
You cook dinner. Everybody else, I'll see you back here for trivia in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Top of the morning to you lads and lassies. Well, actually, top of the evening, afternoon. Really depends on where you're watching from, but you get the idea. Welcome to an all-new round of St. Patrick's Day trivia, coming to you live from New York City. St. Patrick's Day is the only day of the year where it's completely acceptable to pinch total strangers because you don't like their outfit. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Sarah Pribis, and I hope you all out there are wearing green. I mean, I don't have enough time to go through and check, so we're doing the honor system here. Don't make me come over there and pinch you later. Underwear doesn't count. Hey! The green has got to be visible. I'm excluded from this, by the way, because green on a green screen, you wouldn't be able to see your host, right? Also, can we stop it with the kiss me, I'm Irish stuff? I don't care what you are. How do I know that you're practicing good dental hygiene? I don't. But I can make sure Irish eyes are smiling on your gameplay today. Here's the rules. You have 10 seconds to answer 10 questions each. When a new question appears on your screen, choose carefully because once you tap, there's no going back. If you get one wrong, though, just keep playing. Just keep playing. Make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi. You're holding your phone vertically for optimal gameplay. Your winnings will appear in your display bank account if you're actively posting and have your profile all set up and ready to go. Basically, you got to follow through for that gold at the end of the rainbow, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And before we chase that pot of gold, let's do a quick practice question, shall we? Tell me, would you rather get lucky, get your groove on, get your head in the game? So much getting and not enough giving, if you ask me. But then again, you're not asking me. We're asking you. But I'm giving away $500. That's what matters. And 68% of you are on brand for today. Yes, you chose Get Lucky. Who's ready to do a little jig? Because it's time for display trivia. Question 1. St. Patrick is the patron saint of what country? India, Indonesia, Ireland. St. Patrick is the patron saint of what country? India, Indonesia, Ireland. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of patron saints, think of it this way. If God went and made task forces for areas where maybe he couldn't devote enough time to, the patron saints are like the team leaders of those task forces. So when it came to Ireland, God was like, hey, Patrick, there's this whole thing. I don't really have time to get to it. And St. Patrick was like, can I hold a shamrock? And God was like, yes, I'm greenlighting that. And Patrick was all in. Make sense? Good. St. Patrick is highly associated with Ireland, and anything on the Ireland account needs to go through him. 93% of you got that. Question 2. The color used to represent St. Patrick's Day shares its hue with what gemstone? Emerald, ruby, sapphire. The color used to represent St. Patrick's Day shares its hue with what gemstone? Emerald, ruby, sapphire. Okay, I'll give you a hint. This stone is really big in the Wizard of Oz. Okay, I'll be more specific. There's a whole city of this gemstone in the Wizard of Oz, which, let's be honest, the taxes in Oz must be out of the friggin' roof. You have a whole city made of a gemstone, which cannot be cheap. I mean, the entire building is literally this stone, not to mention the upkeep on that yellow brick road. I mean, can you imagine the funding they shovel out just for paint? A real nightmare, I'll tell you that much. But if you're familiar with Wizard of Oz or Ireland in general, you know I'm obviously referring to emerald, which is the color green. 94% of you did. Question 3. This mythical creature is associated with St. Patrick's Day. Loch Ness Monster, Leprechaun, Chupacabra. This mythical creature is associated with St. Patrick's Day. Loch Ness Monster, Leprechaun, Chupacabra. It seems like most holidays get some sort of mythical creature, right? Easter has the bunny, Halloween has all kinds of stuff. Christmas has Santa, Valentine's Day has Cupid. It makes you feel sort of bad for the holidays that didn't get one. Like Memorial Day. Sorry, Memorial Day. There just wasn't any money left in the budget for a mythical creature. Better luck next year. If you submit an appeal, though, there's always a chance someone like the Tooth Fairy or Sandman can fill in if they're not already booked on another event. The Irish mascot who carries the baton when St. Patrick isn't around is everyone's favorite miniature trickster, the leprechaun. That's right, 95% of you got it. Question 4. The fourth leaf on a clover represents which of the following? Faith, love, luck. The fourth leaf on a clover represents which of the following? Faith, love, luck. Speaking of leprechauns, if you want good luck, you're gonna have to go through Lucky. You know, the cereal mascot? Yep, yeah. And that guy is a major conspiracy theorist. They're after me, Lucky Charms! Lucky, what proof do you have of that? If people really wanted luck, they would eat a nutritious breakfast, not your marshmallow-laden corn puffs, Lucky, okay? I love them as much as the next person, but that is no way to start the day, no sir. They are magically delicious though, I will give you that, yes. Most clovers have 3 leaves, but the lucky ones tend to have 4, and 92% of you are pretty lucky here. Question 5. When one makes an Irish exit, they leave under what circumstances? They sneak out, they cause a scene, they sing a ditty. When one makes an Irish exit, they leave under what circumstances? They sneak out, they cause a scene, they sing a ditty. Has anyone ever hung out with a large group of Irish people? Or maybe, is anyone here playing from Ireland themselves? Can we confirm this? Like, do Irish people actually leave events this way? I mean, I dated an Irishman once, and he did an Irish exit when he broke things up, but I mean, that was only one occurrence. I mean, I can't base my opinion of an entire people based on one person's actions. And you don't want me to either, because that guy, really lacking in certain areas, if you know what I mean. But he did sneak off without saying goodbye. Yes, he ghosted. And leaving without saying goodbye is commonly referred to as an Irish exit. 89% of you got it. Halfway there, question 6. The meat traditionally served with cabbage on St. Patrick's Day comes from what cut of the animal? Tenderloin, shank, brisket. The meat traditionally served with cabbage on St. Patrick's Day comes from what cut of the animal? Tenderloin, shank, brisket. So obviously the cabbage is clearly the sidekick here. I mean, come on. We all know the cabbage isn't really the reason we break out the crock pot to make this dish, but what I will say, that cabbage holds its own. Like, if any side dish were to get a spin-off, I back cabbage 100%. And cabbage knows when not to pull focus. Like, when it gets with its buddy corned beef for their yearly St. Patrick's Day celebration. Corned beef is the main course, made of brisket. But, you know, another round of applause for cabbage, who certainly gets the job done as an opening act. 89% of you got that. Question 7. Legend says St. Patrick drove an animal with which of the following features out of Ireland? An exoskeleton, one functioning lung, endothermic. Legend says St. Patrick drove an animal with which of the following features out of Ireland? An exoskeleton, one functioning lung, endothermic. Well, I mean, he made sure all of this animal leave, but like at least the guy had the decency to give him a ride, right? At least he didn't make them walk. It's really the least you can do when you're asking people to leave. Whenever I make someone leave my house, I always offer to pay for their Uber. It's called being a good host while also maintaining boundaries, okay? I'm also usually asking people to leave my house. It somehow got listed on Airbnb and is actually a really popular destination for the work from home crowd. But the animal, St. Patrick, is said to have driven from Ireland are snakes. Let's at least hope they all give him a 5-star rating. 84% of you got that one. One functioning lung is it. Question 8. The popular Irish ballad adapted from Old Irish air has which of the following lines? They'll steal your heart away. The pipes are calling. That's an Irish lullaby. The popular Irish ballad adapted from Old Irish air has which of the following lines? They'll steal your heart away. The pipes are calling. That's an Irish lullaby. Well, I, for one, am certainly glad we finally refreshed Old Irish air because it was starting to get musty. Whew, stale even. Ugh, you know? But we couldn't have done it without Glade plugins. And their complete line of all new St. Patrick's Day themed flavors. Well, let's see, there's the Shamrock Shake, right? The perfect blend of mint and Mickey D's. Next, of course, there's Happy Hour Pub, which exudes a sort of je ne sais nah, because it's a mixture of Guinness and dried vomit. But anyway, the song adapted from Old Irish air is Danny Boy, which reminds me of the final new scent in the collection, Glen to Glen. It's reminiscent of a peat bog, if you will. All of your favorite Irish flavors, all in one spot. 92% of you got that. Question 9. The tradition of dyeing the Chicago River green originated in a practice performed by what professionals? Businessmen, sanitation workers, farmers. The tradition of dyeing the Chicago River green originated in a practice performed by what professionals? businessmen, sanitation workers, farmers. This tradition is a good example of something that starts out as practical, but then becomes decorative, which was exactly the case with my inflatable snowmen in the front yard at Christmas time. See, I started putting them up because I slip and slide on the icy paths a lot. And if I have some cushions lining the walkway, I just bounce back up. Genius, I know. Well, I just loved them so much. They stay up all year. And the best part, the neighbors don't mind at all. No, in fact, they like it because there are so many inflatables, they never even have to interact with me. The city that dyes the river green is Chicago, and the tradition first began as a way to test how pollutants were spreading in the river. Turns out pretty quickly. Sanitation workers is it. And we got to the end of this quiz pretty quickly. 83% of you going on with me because it's time for the final question. Question 10. The bridge in Dublin, whose width is greater than its length, is situated over what river? Poddle, Dodder, Liffey. The bridge in Dublin, whose width is greater than its length, is situated over what river? Poddle, Dodder, Liffey. A lot of major cities are situated on rivers, usually for convenience. Of course, my favorite of these is Los Angeles, home to the breathtakingly beautiful Los Angeles River. Did I say beautiful? Oh, that's funny, because I meant to say it's just a canal. Yeah, miles and miles of concrete that collects runoff from people's homes and dump it all right into the Pacific. Mother Nature could never. No, really, I would not go in there if you paid me. Please don't pay me, I don't want to. Dublin, Ireland is at the confluence of many rivers, but the one beneath the O'Connell Bridge is the River Liffey. 86% of you on our last one. Bravo! How did we do? You came, you slayed, you displayed your knowledge, and you're getting paid in proper St. Paddy's Day form, right? You made it to the end of the rainbow, aka this quiz, and we're rewarding you with some gold. I'm like a leprechaun of sorts. 400 users just won that $500. Well, okay. I think we have more Irish people in this chat than I thought, or you just know at least your Irish St. Paddy's Day history. Did you study up on this? Did you know that we were doing a themed game? Congratulations to everyone. Now, if you need a little extra help, don't forget, I always give away an answer at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 30 minutes before trivia starts on my show, so you can tune into that. No one wants to claim themselves as a winner tonight? Come on, don't be shy. Brag about those scores. Any winners? Winner, winner, chicken dinner? Winner, winner, corned beef and cabbage dinner tonight. All right, friends, go enjoy the rest of your St. Paddy's Day. Have a drink at a pub. I'll see you tomorrow on display. Good night.